All right, welcome. Let's do a brief sound check. I have on my super sensitive sound equipment today because the A-team, Einstein, and the late and great, beautiful, beloved Dolores Cannon will be coming together, and they wanted me to share some unique brain training frequencies for vibrational super learning. So this exploration with them is going to be fun, fun, fun. We're going to get to talk about resonance in light via color, frequency of sound and the combinations thereof that can help us in so many ways to meet our mastery. So, can you hear me? Just say a big old yes. Hopefully you can. Okay. So in this channeling, I'm going to be connecting to Einstein and Dolores from here on out to understand what unique vibrational techniques, resonance and frequency combination techniques can help us balance brain waves, equalize our emotional frequencies, and to meet our most masterful potential in our life, to meet our mastery. Vibrational super learning. It's very interesting. Thank you for the topic. It wasn't something that I was thinking about bringing to YouTube, but I bring these kind of topics often to my Patreon channel. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to go deeper into this. But when you brought this topic up to me today, and I asked, Dolores and Einstein, what the world thinks it is versus what we could really stand to learn and train in it. Um, Dolores said, well, use your mighty Google machine and go see. So I did. And it wasn't anything like what they wanted to bring. So when you go and you Google vibrational super learning, what you get is a bunch of focus, memory, and concentrational techniques, mnemonic devices. You get some very few people are talking about the David Hawking scale of consciousness. I do have a channeling on that with Dolores on my Patreon channel. No, wait, it isn't on Patreon because I don't do those there. It's on YouTube. It's a Dolores channeling, and she does discuss the Hawkins frequency and what she thinks about it with the Hawkins consciousness scale. And she said even that is even not anywhere near what we need to know about vibrational superlearning. And she says, in order to train your brain, you must reinstill your own original vibration and resonance from your superconscious. Not your subconscious, your superconscious. And it was very interesting because she said that's the math of that begins in your intuitive brain, not in your logical one. So all of these things, I don't hear an echo. It was probably my reverb that I had up because I have my sound equipment on, so I could share some sound with you in a minute. Is that better? I just turned it down. She says, so what you know that's out there that's demonstrated to you about vibrational superlearning has to do with mnemonic devices, listening to sounds, oscillating machines that you put on your feet or that you place on your temples, or attempting to memorize things in a certain amount of time. So people have created apps for it. And it's only the tip of the iceberg for intuitive training insofar as what the brain has to share. The depths of your mastery in the subconscious is going to be deeply dependent upon your awareness of your own resonance, your awareness of where you currently stand and how you aren't really where you want to be in resonance and frequency. And so many people think about consciousness as something that needs to be trained into you with just listening to sound, but you have to have an awareness of that listening. And there are certain rhythms in sound that will color your consciousness. Now Einstein's sitting behind her, kind of nodding a little bit, and he said, and color is its own unique wave field. So when you combine that unique wave field and that spreads across the entirety of the left and right hemispheres of the brain, then your brain is going to send out electrical signals that synapse properly across a wave. So you need resonance in light and color. That resonance can help you set a parameter. That's what Einstein is saying. You need to set a parameter for where you are, what your unique wavelength is. What is your frequency that dictates the wavelength that you're currently operating in your thoughts, your emotions, your vocabulary system, and then your actions. And then your frequency is very intuitively mastered. Your frequency comes about in your actions, and you call that abundance. You call that manifestation. You call that connection and communication. But there is a communion between resonance, which is light amplified by color, and sound, which is your unique frequency that comes thereby. And this combination of the two is the vibrational super learning that not automatically, but in time, with training, with repetition, with commitment to the training, daily training, you are training your superconscious, which is the nature of the entire consciousness that makes you tick. So this is going to be a phenomenal way to kind of look at that, to look at light and how it's amplified through color. How does that dictate your resonance? Your resonance is how you're amplifying your unique consciousness from a thought, colored by emotion, dictated by words, and fully amplified and spread through the consciousness of your actions. When you're aware of this, the super learning is instantaneous. It doesn't come through training at that point. You're already trained from the math in your heart. Do you understand? You're already trained in that way because you know your resonance. You get a good measurement for where you stand in your resonance. You know where you are and where you aren't in your thoughts, emotions, and words. And you know then what frequency is being carried and amplified by your resonance. How are people perceiving you? Not just how you want to be perceived or how you think that you're being perceived, right? When you understand this, it carries an exceptional opportunity for super learning. And that super learning comes without you prompting it, without brain training, without apps for brain training. And she's saying, you see that everywhere. You open your phone and there's all these apps for get better focus, get better memory, get better concentration. And you're thinking that you're doing it by looking at these things. But the only thing that's doing is giving you an awareness of your former resonance that is amplifying your frequency right now. And what we mean by resonance is the energy of your thoughts, and then how that carries into emotions and feelings, those unique resonance signatures in your feelings. The beliefs that are carried through come out of your mouth, and that is instantaneous amplification of a soul into the world, according to Einstein. So, do you have certain thoughts and you're telling yourself these thoughts every single day? Well, you are in vibrational super training for whatever that thought is telling you. What is its resonance? Does it have a certain color to it? Synesthetes, you're going to get this because we are born this way. to understanding that thoughts have a certain essence to them. Um, Physical empaths and mediums, you're going to get this because those thoughts create energies, and those energies are amplified by emotional essences. Certain nostalgic memories carried from beliefs in the past can be something that we think about and roll into feelings, and then that rolls into our vocabulary, and then that our vocabulary amplifies as sacred actions in this world. And whatever our actions go into, that's our karma, that's our mastery, that's our most masterful potential, right? That is our deepest mastery potential in this lifetime, is how we create and how our actions benefit or harm others. That's the dharma or the karma of things. That's what makes the world run, right? So, with that in mind, vibrational super learning isn't a thought strategy, but it is an awareness of thought. It isn't a focus strategy, but it is an awareness of the certain resonance that you carry in thoughts and emotions, which then create action-oriented strategies and success in your lives. So when you can get that and formally, Einstein says you formally hold all of these applications, and you're giving all these applications that are amplifying only one component of the brain, only one component, and that is the logical component. In this training, we're going to discuss awareness of where you are in your resonance, how you are amplifying from thoughts and emotions, and then how you can train with resonance and frequency to amplify in your most masterful consciousness right here, right now, not your consciousness of the past, not where your subconscious is holding you and carrying you in your pain, in your fears, right? So this isn't thought strategy. This is different. This is an amplification of both sides of the brain, left and right, both areas of the brain, and not just the ones that you commonly think about, like the amygdala in brain training, but all of the parasympathetic portions of the brain as well, and the hypothalamus, the part of you that just goes into survival. There are certain thoughts that automatically pull you in to being led by chemicals in the brain. And the powerhouse of that is the hypothalamus. It will tell portions of your brain to secrete fight and flight chemicals, and you immediately begin to amplify from fear, hatred, resentment, shame, whatever it is for you. So it is important that you develop an awareness of what in your external environment is also creating, a petri dish for that. So right now we're looking at that everywhere. Right as I was getting ready to prepare for this, the news captured everyone's attention with something going on in Russia. And it was very interesting because I was, going into teaching this. And it was sort of this thing where the thoughts went, well, is that something I should be aware of? In the past, it would have said, is that something I should be concerned about? Do you see the difference? And immediately it was like, no, no, whatever it is, will not end up in a disaster. Whatever it is will alleviate itself soon, and that is, it will alleviate itself soon. And that was my intuitive consciousness. And maybe about an hour later, um, whatever was happening in Russia did alleviate itself, and people were not harmed. And those particular forces that were going on and causing potential threat for a lot of lives were immediately put at bay. And it wasn't because of me. You have to understand that you are in a deep resonance in the way that a puzzle piece has its own place in a giant 9.5 billion jigsaw puzzle right now for all of us. 9.5 billion. That's a lot of people. and you hold your place. That puzzle doesn't look the same without you, your resonance, your patterning, your input, your unique way of contributing to this consciousness. That's why you're here. That's why you're listening today. Oh, a way to just step into my body. I love when you do that without my permission. Sorry, it's a fun little relationship that we have, she and I. Um, so you've got to be aware of your environment. Are you prone to being concerned by what's going on in the world versus just asking yourself? Right now, this is very important. Einstein says to ask yourself, what's calling you? That's an interesting word that not many people use. Um, when I first got here, one of the first things that happened was my AC broke and it's midsummer, and I called the AC guy and he said, so it's calling to here, but it's not receiving, and it's calling to there, but it's not. So this one little area is receiving, and Dolores was in the background looking at him and looking at me, and he was pointing out everything in my little system. And she said, that part of your brain is calling, and that part's just not paying any mind. And look at what you manifested. Part of it's working, part of it's not working. And this is where we are in the collective currently, right? We are in freeze. In 2020, we were in fight and then followed by flight. In 21 and 22 and 23, you are frozen in action. But he said, what this isn't this interesting. It's calling to that, but nothing's being received. And it was just where I was in the moment. I'm like, everything is calling to me, but I just don't want to channel right now. Everything's calling to me, but I'd rather be unpacking these boxes and doing anything but that. Right. So, vibrational super learning isn't a thinking strategy. It isn't a brain training strategy. It is an awareness of your resonance and frequency and how your current signature of resonance is uniquely for you versus where you want to align and inevitably will align. Will you go backward over and over and over again? Will you stay trained center without budging? Or will you move forward from the ultimate mastery of where your consciousness is calling you to receive? Right? Um, so in this awareness, there can be practical, intentional use of vibration, resonance, and frequency in order to rewire the brain and help it properly synapse across wave. This is life-changing, and it can't be done in an app, is what Einstein is saying. It can't be done in typical brain training. It requires a deeper awareness. So what is calling to you? Step number one. For me, light calls a lot. I'm being told to open my windows, not just in my mind, but in my house, right? The other day, I was on the shores of Lake Michigan, and my soul said to me, "Just take off your sunglasses for a minute and look at the nature." It was calling to me. Sometimes silly little things can call to you that you think might be silly, but for most physical mediums, empaths, and channels, highly sensitive people, people on the spectrum, oh, so many of you. Einstein says this is a vast group. The vast group of star seeds are experiencing something that's undefinable right now to you. It's brand new. It's a pioneering of a new consciousness. And in this way, you're going to need to be particularly adept at tuning in where your frequency is and how you're currently amplifying versus what the superconscious wants and where it wants you to be, what it wants to create through you, and where you want to be. All right. So this is going to be fun. We can do this by visualization, Hertz frequencies, understanding the undertones and overtones of sound. Don't worry, you don't have to know how to overtone like I do, but you do need to know how to listen, attune to your own frequency signature, pay attention to what's calling to you. All right, what is calling to you? Is it all the news channels? Is it your social media that you can't put down? This morning, my left arm was calling to me. And it said, put down the phone. And I said, but I'm doing a poll because something's calling on it. Well, do it with the phone down, pick up the other arm, but you've got too much neuropathy in that arm, So put that arm down and do it a different way. And it was really that simple. And then consciousness said, yeah, go get in some heat. Put it down for a while, actually. Come back. You already know what you're going to channel. No need to make sure everybody else is on the same page. They will be the moment you share what Einstein and Dolores have to share when they understand the significance of it. This is your ultimate mastery and potential right now. This is the key to the new pioneered consciousness in this world. According to Einstein and Dolores here with us today, this is the consciousness. This is what you need for New Earth. Right? So what's calling to you? Is it your body? My body calls me all the time, no more iron, more D3. It even tells me what foods to eat to get it. And, I'll even be pulled, not through muscle testing, but just walking through a store and feeling a resonance towards a certain vitamin that I've never heard of before. Magnesium's been calling for weeks now. And I'm like, why? And then it kept calling. And then a friend finally said to me, yeah, that helps neuropathy. With everything you're experiencing with lupus, that will help in the neuropathy pain. I had no idea. I should because I'm a medical medium, right? But certain things you learn along the way, the importance of magnesium and selenium. So my body's been calling me the importance of magnesium and selenium. Last year, it was the importance of D3 and iron. The year before that, it was the importance of D3 common by B12. And then I made an unfortunate mistake by adding too much B6. And it said, less calling, less energy towards the B6, please. Right? And then my hands started getting a little numb. Naps are calling you. Okay, listen to that. But is that really your mind or is it your body? A lot of time the mind can be de-stressed and the body can pick up on that calling instead. Yeah. So when you understand resonance and light, and when you understand how that applies to your thought streams and the helpfulness or harmfulness of your thought streams, then you can understand what is calling to you in this world, whether it be your mind, your body, is the news improperly calling you. There's a lot of distraction everywhere right now, and it's making its way into spiritual communities. It's something that Dolores alerts me to all the time, and I'm like, I can't go talk about that because talking about that typically would include a call out, and I'm not the call out style. Right? There's a lot of charlatans and fraudulence and interesting things going on. Spiritual community's a mess right now. So what is calling to you? What is calling to you? Are you becoming your own spiritual teacher right now? I most certainly hope so. And I hope that all the channels you're listening to are guiding you back to yourselves, right? The chat is saying error. Oh, well, maybe stop looking at it. It's not calling to you. Put on your earbuds, close your eyes, right? Maybe that's it. I don't think that's anybody else's showing an error. It is on slow mode so that we don't get an overwhelmed chat during channeling. Yes, Metzley said, I'm feeling more called to be present to others in social media and reach out to people. Wonderful. Wonderful. Love it. Call to water. So thirsty when I channel. What happens if your thoughts are neutral? They typically are, but you're here for creativity. In truth, all thoughts are neutral initially, but then they're designed. The human design in consciousness is that the thoughts will be resonating in a certain way and then amplified with a unique frequency pattern for your mastery. So if that's not happening, you could be apathetic. So many people are saying things like, my thoughts are empty, I'm completely at peace, I'm meditating all the time. Nothing wrong with that, but those aren't. Peace isn't necessarily a neutral thought either. It's a contentment thought, deep contentment. Right. Caffeine depletes potassium, magnesium. I'm on slow mo with caffeine, so that's not a problem. Yeah, real slow mode with caffeine. Um, what I'm hearing from her right now is, and Einstein is giving a nod to this as well. What subconscious thought streams are there? What are the most common streams of energy that are like a powerhouse? Much like the cell's mitochondria is the powerhouse, your brain's powerhouse is amplified by whatever unique thought frequency begins to amplify and what resonance it holds. So, your vocabulary on a daily basis is typically trained by thought streams from former belief systems that kept you safe in the past. And then you turn on the news, you open up social media, and you hear, and again, it's even going into your spiritual communities. Dolores says, remember that you turn on spirituality in hopes to get a break from it, and then there it is, the news and the channeling. And there's very few channels I know that can stay neutral with that kind of thing. Very few. Just one that I could think of off the top of my head, Amanda Ellis. Right. So, what common phrases, what common thought streams occur in your regularly utilized fallback vocabulary system? Einstein calls it fallback vocabulary system links, he says. So these are streams of thoughts, whether they be just a few words or a sentence or just an idea or a concept that then builds a vocabulary around that thought stream. And then you will find that those thought patterns show up over and over and over again when you speak to people. But even when you're thinking, someone's saying something and you're already thinking, from a unique thought stream that is calling in a resonance of pain, shame, fear, judgment of some kind, or a resonance of neutrality, which is just contentment and trying to deeply listen without any judgment. That's a rare one. That's a rare resonance in thought streams. It could be curiosity. That's where my thought streams typically amplify from. It's like a general curiosity. Now, sometimes it's amplified by what the fuck curiosity of I can't even believe they just said it. But even then, that's curious to a certain degree. There's an empowerment behind that, even if you're offended. It's okay. It's okay as long as you're curiously offended and you're ready to learn. You're ready to learn in this very angsty environment right now. If you're ready to learn versus letting anger take over in your unique resonance signature in your thought streams, then you're going to step into a new key of consciousness. And you could do that by color and sound and combining color and sound. Where the thought streams coming from? Oh my goodness, everywhere. Everywhere, even in A Course in Miracles, when that was channeled through, Jesus had said at some point that in that book, I never said that thoughts were innocent or neutral. Right? They always have something there, even if hidden subconsciously. They may start out a little bit neutral, but then they're amplified. They resonate and then they amplify. So they come from people around you. They come from older beliefs in the past, which is the more 80% range for humans. And then that amplifies into the world around you and your thoughts and actions and your belief systems and your vocabulary in the world and how you connect to others. And then it comes back and you see it in the news. You see it in your friends and family. You see it in your coworkers. You see it everywhere. Right. And you can also pick up thought streams from the collective, but you have to have a resonance and a signature that you are familiar with if you see it in the collective, or you won't see it at all. So sometimes when you see others doing things in the world and when you see the news and you're like, that's not my resonance. If you see it and you don't like it, that's your resonance. If you see it and you do like it, that's your resonance. If you see it and you're just curious, you step into a wondering. You don't take the bait. I had a video yesterday saying, don't take the bait, right? Don't take the bait that you're seeing on social media and the news. It's everywhere. That bait is everywhere, right? So if you just get curious, if you step into the open window of consciousness of wondering, just wondering, then anger doesn't take over. Fear doesn't take over. That feeling of deflation when you disagree with someone or they disagree with you. Judgment doesn't take over. Attachment doesn't take over, right? So find where you resonate. Be awareness of your resonance in your thoughts, as opposed to saying it doesn't come from me. If you see it and you're reactive, that's a consciousness and it comes from you. That consciousness is coming from you. That reactivity is showing where you resonate in your consciousness, right? So let's talk about it. Let's talk about what common words and phrases in our vocabulary can hold keys to blocks in our resonance and what thought streams, common phrases, and words in our vocabulary are keys to super learning. We just gave you one of them, and the word is curious. Curious, conscientious, wonder, wonderful. These are beginning stages of shifting the consciousness so that vibrational super learning can begin. Trying? No. Mm-mm. Dolores says, don't even try me. Trying is a very weak consciousness. It's for those who are super afraid to do. No trying. Rather doing or not doing. No working at it. No. That's an even weaker form of consciousness. You got better than that. Love. Yes. Love. Can you utilize that word, Einstein says, without projecting a romantic relationship consciousness with it? If you can resonate with this very wonderfully attuned frequency and that grace. Yeah. Cindy said, instead of saying I can't, I say I'm doing it. Interesting. Oh my goodness. Are you just saying that? Or are you asking if that's one of the words? I find that people say interesting when their consciousness isn't resonant, but they're curious and they want to know. They want to know how another person thinks or ticks. They say, interesting, which is not really that interesting in them. It's not really. It's just that they're curious and they want to know why it's hitting them a certain way. They don't like it or they just feel kind of a blah about it. They might be a little bored. It doesn't hold like an anger tendency or a resentment, but it holds a bored um, um, consciousness. The consciousness of that word, it trains you into boredom. You're not very interested when you say interesting, but you want to be, and you want to know why you're not, right? You want to be, but you're not. Yeah. Gratitude. Gratitude holds a calming energy, a calming consciousness, a calming resonance. What about the word threat? Defensive fear-based resonance. And let's talk about this in terms of resonance and frequency, and then we're going to apply sound. So people are instilling music and movies and TV video programs that have a resonance and vibration of threat. And threat is, I need to be afraid, I am threatened, and I will fight back. The color is typically red, like blood, blood red, and has that same resonance signature of death. The word violated has an even stronger blood red and black, almost a blue red, like deep in the veins. A really painful betrayal resonance, the word violated. And when you say, I have been violated or I am being violated, you utilize that consciousness and trigger the vibration of super learning immediately into that mode of victim. Allow is a word that has been taken over, Einstein says, for the past at least 1,000 years. The word allow has held a victimhood resonance. Flow is a consciousness that is less restricted than allow. Yeah. Permit is also a very neutral consciousness, empty of energy word. It's kind of, Dolores says, yeah, like getting your permit before you get your driver's license, or like the government is going to permit you, or I permit that. Pay attention to these words, because this is a first step in understanding your consciousness. Is what are you thinking? What words are you using? And what resonance are you pulling from? What's calling you in that resonance to want to use that word? Right? Spark has an incredible consciousness. For those of you using that word in the chat, just going through the chat and looking at some of the words. Yoda is a name. It doesn't hold a consciousness, but its teachings might. Joy holds a celebration resonance, like being at a game and winning, and the whole crowd goes nuts. Joy holds a play consciousness, a vacation. I am relieved from pain and having to worry. This joy holds this breath of relief consciousness, like you can finally take a breath after holding your breath for so long, right? So now you begin to attach colors to the words and phrases in your daily vocabulary of what you think and say. All right? So beauty has a golden yellow resonance, like dawn, like the sunset. It holds that consciousness, that invigoration of light. Focusing is a neutral word. That word holds no consciousness. When you shift all of your words and you apply both frequency via sound and then a visualization of whatever light-based resonance and color is going to infiltrate that word, your emotions will spark and your brain will shift, right? So I will explain this in a bit, but I'm going to let you listen to a sound. I'll put my earphones and listen to it as well. Okay. This is 40 hertz. How many people listen to binaural beats? Because it is a part of Einstein's vibrational training today. Can you hear it? I'm going to turn it up. Put on your earbuds and listen, because that's as high as it goes. Okay, so put on your earbuds and listen to the 40 hertz frequency. And think about where you're currently resonating. Let a color come to your mind. This is the process now for vibrational super training. All right. In vibrational super learning, you have to visualize a color and let one intuitively come to mind. Don't try to dictate what comes. Listen to the 40 hertz. It's 40 hertz binaural. You won't hear it without your earbuds on. Where are you currently resonating? Let that color come. Okay. 40 hertz is pretty low. Okay. Turn up your sound. It's very low. All right. It should feel like a vibrational buzzing. Now close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths and let the sound surround you. And then see if a color arises. You don't have to see it. You don't have to be clairvoyant. But you could cognitively just have something come to your mind. What color calls you, and visualize that. Okay? Now, you've got to set an intention in vibrational super learning towards what resonance comes to you. What resonance do you want for your day? Right, for me, I want the word, like the first word that comes is energized. But energized is a bleh word, and that can tell me where I'm currently resonating, because I'm not energized. So when you come up with a word that isn't exactly what you want and it has no energy signature to it, the word energized is kind of blah, think of a different word. Think of a different word. Why do I want to be energized? You might want to use some inquiry at this point. Ask a question. If the word that came isn't exactly a strong consciousness, it's just coming from something, but you don't know what, if it's a neutral consciousness word, then you can ask yourself, why do I want to be energized? Right? And then see what comes next. Right? You have your word that you want? Okay. Now we're going to change your frequency to 73 hertz. I'm sure many of you know why. Einstein believes that 73 hertz is a pure sine wave that can connect both sides of your brain. Hold on, I'm going to turn down the commercials that come along with that. Now I get to see the effects of what ads are like when you're trying to get to something.
2, 1.
Okay, 73. That's even lower. So now your color may switch. You have 73 hertz and your color may switch. Listen to the 73 hertz. And feel a line between your left side and right side of your brain, and let that golden line go all the way through your body going down your spine and returning back to the earth. This is the process for brain conjunction. Brain coherence is very important. Now, see if the word that you chose changed, if it feels differently. See if the color that you have changes. See, my word changed to clarity. And the color is a cyan blue, right? And when you have two colors and they start blending, that is a sign of coherence in this process, right? Now I want you to go all the way up to 432 hertz. This is the third step in vibrational super learning. So 432. So much 432. Hold on a second. Let me find one that YouTube isn't going to smack me down for using. This is typical 432 synthesized. Okay. Now see if your color switches again. If the word that you've chosen or phrase that you've chosen in your consciousness switches again. Once you get to 432, it'll feel like the floodgates of your brain just opened up on both sides. Right? Yeah. It's not loud. Yeah. I don't know how to make it louder. Sorry. There we go. That's the best way I can make it louder for you. Okay. So at this point, you're going to need to breathe and repeat the word like a mantra and let the color that you chose, if it's shifting, let it shift and let it flood through your brain. Become that consciousness, become that resonance. All right? That's how you do it. That's what you do. All right? So now we're going to take the songs. Many of you have a deep interest in some of your favorite songs, some of your favorite hertz frequencies in meditation, but the songs you listen to on a daily basis hold a lot of vibrational super learning codes in them. So now's time. What have you been listening? What's on your playlist? Let's play. Anybody? What's on your playlist? Oh, Ama Rose. Okay. I will look it up. Ama Rose. Creation story. I don't know. I'm not getting anything. Get Emma Rose, get all kind of stuff, but I'm not getting anything. Maybe it's not on YouTube. You mean Ama Sophia Rose? Yeah. I don't see anything that says creation story there. I'm on her channel and I don't see anything that our team here today can tap into and tell you about. So let's go to the next one. Waltz of the Flowers. Thanks for that suggestion, Mitzi. Let's see. Waltz of the Flowers. Is that a Tchaikovsky? I think it is. Let's get through the ads. This is why I should get YouTube Red, but I'm too cheap. Dolores says this holds the consciousness of an impending shift or impending creation. Einstein says this holds the consciousness of rebirth and illumination. He said, this is what I felt about watching the cosmos. So this song holds the consciousness of rebirth and the cosmos. And your body is just as wondrous, is what he's saying. So imagine opening up like a flower to a whole new consciousness. This is what this one is. So if this is what you're going through, it would be a really good way to go into vibrational super training. And did you feel how that consciousness just shifted? Now it's complete. Now there's a rhythm. Now there's like a march. Now it's like, this is what I'm doing on a daily basis. Yeah. And it became curious and joyful and playful and creative. So this is incredible vibrational super training when you get up in the morning. If you really want to have a curious, playful day. All right. Let's see what else you guys got. Missing Sophia. Who is the artist and who is what's the title? Shekinah Rose. Well, the name itself, Shekinah, according to Dolores, holds like goddess of new beginnings, like a interesting new beginning for you, like a deep sacred model. Okay, so I mean, you gave me a topic. It's a topic, but I don't know. Oh, is this an artist? Let's click on Love Unveiled and explore that together and see what the A team have to say about this. I call Dolores and the scientists when they're together. I call them the A team. Oh, that's loud. Here we go. Shekinah Rose, Love Unveiled. I am not the author of any of these songs mentioned today, so Christed is the word I get. This is a Christ consciousness, strong love, deep Christed consciousness energy. Yeah. Opening is a word that I'm hearing from Einstein about how he resonates with this one. Very sacred. I love it. Okay, you guys have good music taste. A Lovely Day by Bill Withers. Oh, I know that song. Everybody knows that song, right? Let's pull it up after the video completes all the ads. Give me a second before I turn it up. I find the ads build my patience. Yeah, it is the song that I thought. You guys having fun? I love to do this. Is that song? So This is an incredibly strong frequency, holding the energy of the sun. Yeah. Deep cleansing purification energy, but also playful. And again, with the energy of joy and play. You guys need to create a playlist for me. So this would be great vibrational super learning if you are depressed and you are feeling anti-joy in the moment. Go for this. All right. Odessa sun models. Well, let's see. You guys are kind of schooling me because I don't know what some of the things. Here we go. Very sacral chakra, very orange. So when you're doing this with your own music, you can let the colors come. What the A team is hearing is connectivity, connection, belonging. And orange is the color that I'm using here that's coming to me. Yeah. Wonderful. Invigorating is the word I'm hearing with that. Closey, Bayana. Let's see. Okay. This is incredible for vibrational super learning. See our Aboriginal ancestors. Like I could feel the beings all around me. It's a little bit galactic too. Dolores likes that part of it. Yeah. Immediate empowerment, illumination, awareness, empowerment. These are all dominant resonance signatures for this one. And I'm feeling like green, like the earth regenerating. Regeneration is the word that Einstein's giving me for the vibrational super training that this would help you with. So you can use this one when you're sick. You can use this one when you're gardening. You can use this one to send out healing towards earth as a whole. This has been like my favorite so far. Thank you for that. I'm gonna like totally playlist that. Wow, that was powerful. Fleetwood Mac. Okay, which one? I've gotten a bunch of different things from Fleetwood Mac before in vibrational super training. So this is one of my favorite ones by her. Hold on, let me get through the ad. So freedom, a very gentle, peaceful freedom, the color indigo. Yeah. Yeah. Happy stuff in that one, and the color indigo. Freedom is the signature in that one. So if you want that, you can use some of these songs to retrain yourself into these unique resonance signatures. Coldplay, oldie but goodie. See, I haven't seen them live yet, and I really want to, but everyone's favorite songs by them were not like my favorite song because all their B lists were my favorite songs. Give me a song. There's just so many. And all their on their channel, everything is live at here, live at there. Why Worry? Who did that one? Is that a Dire Straits? Oh, Dire Straits is a classic. I'm feeling like a sky blue and peace being, according to Einstein here, the resonance for the vibrational super training in this song is a reset into peace. Let's see. Hymn for the Weekend. Is that the name of the song? Does each song frequency cause same reaction in different people? No, but the 18 can tell you what the collective frequency is for the song in super training for your brainwaves. Because there is a collective and then there's individual. I'm not a particular, like some Dire Straits thing I can listen to, and the rest of it is just kind of whatever. I'm kind of meh about it. So make sure that you're not meh about it. Oh, Drops of Jupiter. I knew someone's going to ask me. There are certain songs that have like unique personal frequencies that people can't that they can't do, like for personal reasons, and that's one for me. But let me see if I can get beyond it and tap into the frequency collectively for people. You can tell how people initially react with what the collective frequency is going to be, like the public's initial reaction to it. And your own initial reaction to it before you attach songs to relationships and situations, right? And life periods of growth in your life. Because we have like these growth capsules that we go through in time and we attach songs to that. Yeah, so here's the Drops of Jupiter song.
She's back in the atmosphere with drops of Jupiter in her head.
Yeah. That one collectively holds hope.
She acts like summer and walks like
Hope
rain.
and wonder.
Reminds me that there's
The color
time to
is like
change.
if rain had a color, if rain took the color indigo, like indigo rain, plasma sparkles of indigo. Yeah.
Tell me, did you sail across?
A little bit nostalgic. That one. Intermezzo, which one? There are so many by so many composers. Jericho? Tell me more. Like, give me song title and composer, or song title and artist. Oh, Canon and D by Pachelbel. I am a classical freak, so I'm happy to look at that one for you. Canon and D. Now, this is one of the most popular wedding songs for a reason, because it's all about hope. And when you attach hope and love, there's this rebirth energy, like innocence, like a brand new baby, green grass. And that's the resonance of that one. Bridge Over Troubled Water. Yeah. We'll take a few more and then I'm going to go because my little daughter's waiting for some time with me. One of my friends gave her some money when she came to visit and she wants to go spend it. And she has specified where to. She wants to go to Target. Simon and Garfunkel. There it is. This, I know it's very much, it's a light blue. I remember feeling into this one before for the collective. Hold on, let's get past the ads. So you can do the process that the A team taught you today with your favorite songs, as long as your songs don't hold attachment to growth periods in your life. Another one for hope, light blue, like a sky blue, healing of grief, the hope resonance. All right. Jericho by Iniko. Okay. Never heard of it. Learning some things. You guys are schooling me today. Hardcore, I love it. Iniko. I probably heard it and then I thought, what? Of course I know that. You know, sometimes that happens.
I'm from outer space. I got Milky Way for blood, evolution in my veins. I'm gone, I've been far away. I'm illuminated, I'll make a move, start the waves. I've been dreaming about flying for a long time. I had a vision from the place they want to co-sign. Artificially intelligent way.
Wow.
I'm your future, past and present, I'm a fine line. Yeah, I'm a mystery of this illusion. I am not really here, I'm an intrusion. I don't swim or sink, I just flow. I don't need gravity, I just need growth.
Wow. Empowerment is the signature. Empowered truth is the resonance. So, empowered resonance is what I'm getting. I'm getting both a color I haven't really seen before because it's more galactic, but if you combined yellow and indigo, that would be colors. Maybe you can use those colors in the process for what you're trying to do. Oh yeah, that one. Though I have an attachment to that one. I can't do Elgar. Okay. Lost in Paradise. Don't know what that is either. It's going to be fun.
If you gon' do it, then who can you not to get? Yeah, everybody just talk, nobody really do it. I'm not a yarmada, just don't kill me too. Gotta cut to cut me not the Creole, Jabum, no judge, that get the break the walls. Don't have to fake, you know, you're the cool.
Oh my gosh.
I'm keeping up, fighting my life. Cause my life is living for love. I won't give it up, fighting my life. Standing over the
See, I am really confused by this one because it's like the music is different. And artists, musicians, you should pay attention to this because like the music can pull you in and then the words have a completely different energy, and that is not getting past me. Like I would not listen to this for that reason, because what he's saying is completely different than there's like an incongruent word energy, because the music is like pumped, like the music is empowerment, the music is dance, the music is celebration, and the words are weak. Why does that sell? We really need to think about that. Don't put that into your vibrational super training. Do you feel me? Right? I felt the same when, what was that song that came out that just pissed me off? It triggered me so badly. It's hard to trigger me. It was on the naked with the pumped up kicks. I thought they were talking about sneakers. I was like, oh, pumped up kicks, like shoes, cool shoes or something, and dancing. And no, they're talking about shooting up schools. Right. And so this is how you can't get into frequencies without really like pay attention when there's words involved, because words are just as important as the resonance and frequency of a song. Right? Yeah. So if the words and the lyrics and the music has opposing frequencies and resonance, I will not listen. It's not great super training. It confuses you. It's like confusion consciousness. Yeah. Oh, Lacrimosa. Yeah. That one, the Requiem, with Mozart, it's so beautiful. I am a Mozart fan. He, for those of you who don't know about my musical background, I'm not just a singer. I also played in orchestras for many years as a clarinetist. And Mozart makes some of the most beautiful clarinet music. Absolutely beautiful. K622 is my favorite. So, collectively speaking, this is like necessary grief. So you can attune yourself purposely when a tragedy has happened in your life to heal the grief. And Lacrimosa is an amazing example of how to purposely attune to grief when it's necessary, right? But if you've had too much grief, it can also be deeply depressing. So, yeah. Oh my goodness! It's in the movie Mozart, it was incredible. The use of it by the film producers, was just incredible. Heartbreaking, and like the song teaches you how to grieve. So for people who need to grieve and haven't, Lacrimosa is incredible. And you'll feel this when you're turning on the TV and people are starting to act a certain way and talk a certain way, and you've got to ask, is this in my resonance signature? Is this calling me? Right? You can ask that for yourself. Golden Hour. Oh God, I love that song. Let's put it on. That one's the one by Jake, right? That really impressed me when that guy started. And he has a bunch of other songs as well, but wait a minute, this one is featuring somebody. I don't want that one. I want the official one. Golden Hour is like a sunrise. It has a very nostalgic frequency of going back to beginnings and holding on to that innocence. So it's truly the frequency of magic. This guy's a genius. He's one of these new star seeds on this planet, and wonder. He captures wonder unlike any other artist I've ever seen. It's incredible. Yeah. That feeling of falling in love for the first time. So magical, absolutely magical. And the color of the dawn. Love that song. Yeah. All right. Anila. Let's see. You guys are coming up with some spiritual artists. I like it. Anila, is that it? Medicine Chant. I'm going to get algorithm with all these artists coming after me saying, you played your music on my channel. I don't really care today.
Why do we make our pillow in the shape of a cube? I'll tell you.
Okay. See, this is the type of ancestral pain that's necessary to listen to, but you don't necessarily want to listen to. But you know you have to, and you need to, and you should. So this is old sacred energy to remind us of how we've desecrated and destroyed Earth. So this actually holds an empowering energy, but it's a grief empowerment. Time for change, a transformative grief is the signature of this song. Transformative grief. Teatova, she is my rock star. I'm so deeply inspired by her light language, and I recognize her light language as being similar, if not the same, to some of the things that I sing want to tap into Lemurians. This is a really good one for you guys who don't know who Deodova is. You should. Land of the Ice Giants. Old as time. This energy. There were certain tribes around from the time of the Ice Age, in that time, that had a clicking sound in their speech. And they would also click rocks together in their music. Can you hear? To try to mimic the sounds of the planet. And the ancestors would call for certain elemental spirits to heal the land. I'm feeling purification. The resonance of purification is what's being channeled through to me. Deep memory of how to purify earth and the body and the mind. Connection, remembrance, purification. And the resonance of light coming through in color is like I don't know what to call this, like a periwinkle. The best thing I can call it. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah. Oh, Mongolian throat singing. Oh my goodness. All of that is incredible. It's incredible. Absolutely. Bloom. That's one of my favorites by Deodova as well. That one's on my list.
So you're banana bread experts.
Hold on. I got ads about banana bread on it. Hold on. You guys could at least put ads that are matching the channel. The color is like a green, but like how it reminds me of photosynthesis and resonance when it invigorates and illuminates. So illuminating old and new wisdom, getting some yellows and greens and like light coming through the back of a leaf. Yeah. Just such a beautiful light language artist. Sounds of Isha. This will be our last one. Okay. Sounds of Isha. I hope that you guys use the practices. If you're just joining, go back to the beginning of this when we close, once it uploads. And they gave some very specific advice on vibrational learning that you're going to really love. But what we're doing now is listening to certain songs and picking up the resonance to see if we can use our own songs for vibrational super learning. This one is Sounds of Isha by Bhairavi Shatakam. Oh, that's beautiful. Wow, that's just beautiful. Oh, yeah. Is this a raga? Can't tell. Oh, Bjork, don't get me started. Reverence. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Feeling a lot of Divine Mother energy in this one, and Lakshmi energy. The Lakshmi energy is also very interesting. So this feels like a little bit like reverence towards all the Divine Mothers, and kind of like a Devi chant of some kind. Feeling like a centering, clarity, peace, trust, a lot of different resonant signatures in this one. So I would definitely use this one and add it to my list as well. Thank you. Activated the crown, Cindy said. Very good. Oh my gosh. So that's how you utilize your own music for vibrational super learning. I hope that you guys have an incredible weekend. I've got some polls up about what type of channelings you guys want to hear from throughout next week. And I love this. If you want more channeling from me, we also do a ton of exercises and teachings. I have hundreds. I don't know if you guys know this, but I have hundreds and hundreds of never before seen channelings, and some before seen channelings, but in full, like much deeper, over on patreon.com/channel Pamela Aaralyn. And that's linked to the top of the chat. Thank you so much for all of your support on this channel and for your continued support and subscription. So if you like this, please do subscribe and come back with us. I enjoy channeling and sharing a bunch of different techniques for deep connection to the soul. Have a really good weekend. Turn off the news. It's crazy out there. I'm telling you. Turn off the news. Turn off other people's vibration for a little bit as well. And just really tap into yourself and your families right now. Because that's what I'm going to do. I'll see you soon. Bye.